What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing, aka MKO Pugilism. So, remember to follow me on TikTok, like and subscribe on YouTube, all the good stuff. So let's talk about it. Last night, aka early hours of this morning, here in the UK, we had Saul Canelo Alvarez defending his unified super middleweight titles against Edgar Berlanga. Going into this, not many people gave Edgar Berlanga any chance. I mean, including myself. I didn't really give him much of a hope going into this. My prediction was that Canelo gets him out of there late, some sort of late stoppage. I just thought Canelo too precise and everything. And in the end, it didn't turn out to be quite right, but it was another sort of predictably dominant performance by Canelo. He did have to labor in there. He did have to work hard. Canelo in this fight, he let his hands go a bit more. And I noticed in this fight that even from the off, it was Canelo sort of just went after Berlanga. He pushed him back. There were a few fouls in there, I think, with the heads and stuff. There was a few, one of the headbutts that the ref was saying is deliberate, a bit hitting after the break and stuff. So there was a bit of dirty stuff going on there from Berlanga. But ultimately, it just came down to levels and skills, and Canelo, of course, is the superior technician, and he just pretty much broke down Berlanga over the course of this fight. There was a good shot that he caught him with in, I believe it was round 3. Good left hook by Canelo. He managed to just working away with shots to the head, and then he just managed to, Berlanga loses his focus for a second, and Canelo cracks him with a left hook. Berlanga goes down and he's hitting the ground, and in frustration, it was a shot he didn't see coming. He didn't look that badly hurt at that point. It was more of a, not exactly a flash knockdown. It was a proper knockdown. But he looks like he kind of still had something left. He wasn't like out on his feet or anything. It was just good shot, down you go. And as the fight continued, it was just more and more of Canelo. I think you can only, for Berlanga, I think the scorecards, I think 118, 110 there, I think they were quite kind. I think at the most you can maybe give Berlanga a few rounds. But it's hard. It's one of those where Canelo was just that dominant that you struggle to give him anything. I mean, I suppose, you could give him 2 rounds out of charity or something like that. But to be honest, even that is kind of hard to do, because Canelo was, as I say, he did everything but stop Berlanga. Very, very dominant performance, and it was really impressive. I mean, Berlanga did respond. So, Berlanga at times showed a decent jab. At times he fired back at Canelo, but it was just like what Canelo was doing was just too precise and too sharp. He did just the better puncher and the more accurate puncher. So he was able to just pretty much all throughout the fight, just pretty much tee off on Edgar Berlanga. And what Edgar Berlanga done, all his work was just sort of a response. So it was just like the reaction to the better work of Canelo, and the reaction just wasn't any good. It wasn't, it just wasn't scoring anything, it wasn't really inflicting anything on Canelo. I mean, he's a tough guy because he lasted. The one thing we can give Berlanga is that he lasted the 12 rounds. He went the distance, but aside from that, proving sort of a mental toughness and physical toughness to get through the fight. Apart from that, he was never in any sort of position to ever be winning that fight. It was just all Canelo all night long. I think, Canelo put on a great display there. He was mixing it up, head shots, body shots, everything, very, very sharp, very good performance. And the only thing Canelo really could have done any better is to stop Berlanga. But, he didn't get that. I suppose at some point Berlanga's corner could have chucked in a towel, but I suppose they wanted to see their guy make it to the final bell. I think after this fight, I'd say I'd be in agreement with G-Man Boxing and what he said about it, that, you know, Berlanga, that fight will take something out of him, because he ate loads and loads of shots in there. He took some very hard shots, and sometimes it's those beatings where you're taking a sustained beating over the whole fight. Sometimes those beatings and those losses can be worse than just getting clapped, just getting hit with one shot, and then your lights going out and you're knocked out, and that's it. That's the end of you for that night. Sometimes that knockout is less taxing than taking a 12-round beating, which is what Berlanga took. So I think he'll need to take some rest. He'll need to come back, bit of a lower level, and just build himself up from there. I mean, as for Canelo, I think now looking at his career, there's not really much more for him to do. I think you could get Benavidez in there. I think the Benavidez, that's a good fight, but I think Benavidez has got some other opponent now. But I reckon Benavidez, if you could get him at 168, would be good. I mean, but I suppose realistically for Benavidez's framing everything, he would, if he's got sense, he'd prefer to have Canelo at 175 instead. Canelo's very small for that weight, but I think Benavidez has probably outgrown 168. But I think Benavidez really, at this point, he's the guy that we'd really want to see in against Canelo. I don't think there's really, I mean, even this Berlanga, that wasn't what we wanted to see, but I think right now, okay, you've had your Berlanga fight. We sort of said it was a foregone conclusion going in. I'd like to now see him fight Benavidez, because Benavidez is kind of the last piece of the jigsaw puzzle now. I mean, I'm pretty confident in Canelo beating him. I think Canelo's bet just beats him on skill. You know, demonstrated last quick, brilliant counter punching and great boxing brain. And I just think Canelo is the all-round better fighter than Benavidez, so I'd have him beating him, but I still want to see it. But yeah, anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section about this fight. What do you think of the performance by Canelo? And what do you think he should do next? Let me know that in the comment section. And until next time, it's MKO Boxing over and out.